Hey, how's it going, ACops? Are you there, my friend?
Yes, sir. I am here.
All right, loud and clear. It sounds like. So yeah, what is your thoughts on the term a sixth sense?
The sixth sense to me, it's that the having a feeling when normal people in a situation, situational awareness, like when you get into a situation, you have the sense that something is happening and that you are sensing something, you're getting a sense that other people are not.
Yeah, like a gut feeling type of thing.
Intuition.
Yeah, absolutely. Good morning, Deborah. Evening here. Good morning to you. I beginning Hope, Timmy, Ghost Malone, Tanya, Bill, GBG, COJ Simpson, Britt is up here. What's up, Britt? Sir Luco, Ghost Malone. I already mentioned those. Sorry. Constantine. Oh yeah, Constantine. I wanted to give you a manager mob. I didn't know if you wanted one, so I wanted to ask first. What's up, Silly Wabbit? Bill, Haystack, Wolfpack, White Claw. I'm probably repeating some of the same people. I apologize. Young Dorito, sorry.
Young Garito.
7, what is up, my friend? Good to see you. Dean is live. How you doing, buddy? And we got White Claw and Haystack. And if I missed anybody, I do apologize. So you don't turn down wrenches. Come on now, Joe. Oh yeah. Well, yeah. Hey Napa, how's it going? Well, I've actually seen a couple people. Pardon?
Well, he said, "God bless all the brave men and women who proudly served or are now serving our beautiful country, who are on the live tonight. May God
Amen.
bless you, and may God bless America."
Amen to that. All right, yes. Constantine, you are now a manager moderator. Amen to that. I love Nepa Predator Catcher. He always comes in with something positive right away.
Absolutely, he does. He's a straight up patriot.
Oh yeah, for sure. Really, really good guy.
Salute to that dude.
Yeah,
is he actually a catcher? Is he a catcher?
Yeah, yep. I think he's on hiatus, but he might be able to answer that for us if he wants to in the chat. I could be wrong on that. It's just I think it's been, I want to say, a few months or more than that since the last catch that I saw, unless they removed, like they did with me, and took him off his channel. I don't know.
Yeah, well, that's been happening a lot, so that could be why I've not seen his catches.
Yeah, absolutely. But
Hey,
yeah,
am I
just
coming in loud? Do I need to turn my volume down, or am I good?
I think you're good. Chat, does everybody sound like they're okay as far as the volume is concerned? Y'all better behave or I'll turn slow mode on. actually, I actually was considering that might happen, but I wasn't for sure with who's live and who's not. So we'll see how it goes.
The slow mode is now.
I think we're good now. We've only got 40 people, I think, in here, 39, 40. So I think we're good for now. But yeah, so just kind of getting into this a little bit is that there's a lot of things that just in life in general growing up that a lot of even my own parents, a couple of my grandparents or whoever would say, do you have a sixth sense? Your son have a sixth sense, sixth sense. And it was like I would have this gut feeling about something without knowing how I got it,
Like a prophet.
I don't want to use that, but I guess in a sense, obviously it's not divine. I don't think. I mean, if it is,
Right.
God will tell me one day. No, but it's just a lot of people seem to have a little bit of it or have had experiences like deja vu or something. But there are some things that's been going on in this community that I had a gut feeling about a long time ago, and I couldn't put a finger to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then recently, in the last probably 4, 5, 6 months, it seems like there's kind of been an implosion, if you will, inside the community. I don't know if you have any thoughts on that, but
There
it's kind of,
definitely has been.
yeah.
What is the community now is just what is this thing? You
Right.
know?
There's PatCon. PatCon, I'm going to give you a standard mod. Not only as people vouch for you, I've also seen some things in different chats. So you and Haystack, of course, already has his, but I just seen a lot of things that just caught me off guard, and I didn't really want to dig too much into this tonight because it's like beating a dead horse, sometimes.
Right, but it's pretty simple. We need to, get back to catching, cut the drama BS.
Mm-hmm.
That's the short of it.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's not
it's
that hard to
true.
understand. And if people care about, if everybody would just think about how low your notifications have went. When was the
Yeah.
last time you were able to spend a Saturday where you watch PvP go catch 6 people, and then you watch PP Mass and freaking Musa go get 5
Or
people?
6 more, yeah. Yep.
Like that. It just doesn't happen anymore. And I know that YouTube has killed some people and whatever their channels, whatever, but there's a lot of more to it than that. That is internal implosion.
Yeah, it is. And I'm not saying that I'm innocent of anything. I'm just saying,
I'm not perfect.
none of us are, except for, and you and I are Christians, so you and I can agree with this, that nobody's perfect but God Himself. With our beliefs. And we all make mistakes, but what's always bothered me, I guess, to an extent, not enough to like bother me. You know what I mean? It kind of gets on your nerves a little bit. Is when somebody will pound something that usually is not even true into the ground, or something ridiculous and small, and pound it into the ground. And then when something big comes up, it's, oh, let's just set this to the side and not worry about that right now. That's
Right?
what I don't like.
Yeah, that is the gatekeeper's gatekeeper. Is that a way of putting that?
Gatekeeper. I always kind of laughed about that term because it's in the Bible, the word gatekeeper and whatnot. And it's kind of like when I was a corrections officer in the jail or the prison, that was kind of an old term as a jailer or a gatekeeper as well.
So
And go ahead.
I was just going to say that the gatekeepers, that part of this community, that's what this internal implosion has been caused by. If
Mhm.
everybody would stop caring what they thought about anything, we could get back to catching. If everybody would stop
Exactly.
going and watching those videos that they're making, stop going to those panels to do just drama, like there's nothing to do with saving children going on.
Right.
And then if you look at the catches, it's affecting the quality of the catches whenever a lot of these people get back out there and go do a catch.
Yes, for
It's
sure.
just like being bloodthirsty. They're just so catch thirsty and they want to get the pred so bad. They're just whatever, get there and a lot of the times it ends up actually throwing the catch and the flake and it doesn't even work.
Another thing is too, and you hit the nail on the head, is um, I've seen it firsthand. I've experienced it a little myself, just being honest, is when something ridiculous is put out there and people like to run with it. And I'm usually not the type of person that jumps right on the internet. First of all, everybody knows I'm not that technically inclined, but I guess I've learned to kind of the truth. The Bible says the truth shall set you free indeed. That talks about life in general, whether you believe the Bible or God or not. The truth always comes out. It always shines over darkness. It doesn't always happen right away, and sometimes it takes a while. And then I tried to give people like little subtle hints. Like I've done it on my community page. I'm like, if you just look, you'll find it. Just pay attention. Take some notes. The answers are there. You just sometimes you have to dig for them. You have to look for them. Kind of stay back and kind of watch it. And another thing is I've had to teach myself a lot of this stuff too. By the way, is sometimes we need to take a step back and let certain things kind of take their course to an extent. Obviously with some of the open cases that are going on in the community with a few people. But on the other hand, like Ryan, I think he had. I wasn't on panel with him last night. I think it was last night, but he had a part two of something the nature of question everything or don't be afraid to question anything.
Yeah.
And he
Yes.
did.
In regards to Ed.
Yeah, I believe so. And then Ed came on. He did a quick. I don't know how long the panel was or a
It
live.
wasn't a panel. He came on. He was right. They were in the back. He was in the back seat of the car going down the road.
Yeah,
Basically, gave a quick dispute.
yeah, exactly. And I appreciate him doing that, but I don't know if he plans on doing something a little bit more in depth or something because I, I did see about an hour or so ago JT Colfax, which by the way, God bless JT Colfax. That a lot of good catches were
Yes.
going on. His testimony is amazing.
Yes.
But him and Ray were talking about some things too, and maybe there's some things that a lot of us just don't know yet. And that's kind of like where I kind of want to. I always want to hear both sides of the story of anybody.
Absolutely. And you have the right to face your accusers. This is
Yep.
a serious accusation. And it's just like if we were working for the DEA
Mm-hmm.
and we got caught up, even though we got caught up, we were just caught up in something.
Mm-hmm.
Well, our name was on a drug case. Would
Yeah.
would I be allowed to keep working with the DEA?
No. The worst case, well, best case scenario, being under the color of law and that type of job. Some people do get administrative desk duty until the investigation's over or something like that.
Right.
But
Right.
for the most part, yeah, you're not gonna. And that's kind of the way I think that. Well, I know for sure that I am looking at it a little bit. I won't speak for anybody else. If you want to speak your opinion, that's obviously your opinion.
Yeah,
I don't have a problem too much with the catches this weekend were great. I think it brought a lot of people together,
it
and
did.
from what I've seen in the chats. But on the other hand, there's still others that, including myself, be on the fence a little bit. That are completely
Definitely.
against
Well,
against it,
okay.
and
There had to be probable cause.
mhm,
Um, you would, you know, you wouldn't just bust down a door for having no absolute, like you bust down somebody's door, there's something's up.
yeah, yeah. And then just as a reminder, this is an open case, according to what we've seen and heard. Um,
Yeah, I'm
there's
just speculating.
Yeah, of course. There's no charges as of right now. There's no indictment as of right now as far as the CP, suspected situation with Ed and his brother. So I kind of look at it in the sense too that if the case is still open, wait till the case is closed before, you know,
Certainly, certainly, but if I was being accused of the stuff that he is and everything, I would address it a lot more directly than he has.
yeah, yeah, and that's the thing is I think a lot of people were wondering, well, how come he hasn't come on his channel and done,
Well, he did the same thing that Matt did.
yeah,
I hate to bring up somebody else and make it like that, but like honestly, that's what happened. He did the same thing,
yeah,
and everybody, whatever.
yeah, and I think
Why
that,
is it?
mhm. And I think the best thing is that he does do that. That when he gets, I think they're starting to fly home at some point today, tomorrow, next day, or whatever. I don't know all the details, obviously, but when he gets home and relaxes, it kind of gets things together a little bit because how catching and decoying, no matter who you are, it's a hard job. It
That
really
is
is.
an exhausting gig right there, my brother.
Absolutely. So I think that, once he gets kind of chilled, relaxed a little bit from the trip, get some sleep, or whatever, maybe do a
Yeah,
live.
that's a
Um,
yeah, that's a good point. You're spot on with that, Joe. He does not need to make an emotional public address to it. He needs to get some sleep, and then
yeah,
he does need to address it.
exactly. Sometimes, and a lot of people know this too, when some things about me or my team or whoever would come up, there's a lot of times we just stayed away from YouTube for the most part for a
Right.
while. Sometimes it was a week, 2 weeks, a month, whatever, because we're almost laughing because we know in our hearts because we're us. I'm
Yeah.
me, you're you,
Yeah.
and I know that I didn't do anything wrong, so I don't have anything to worry about. So I
Oh,
was thinking, well, the truth will find itself out. If it needs be, I'll give it a little shove and go on and say a few things and show a few receipts if need be, And maybe Ed's doing that now, kind of like the way I do it most of the time. And I don't know. But he's usually the type of person that will come on right away when it regards a situation in the community or whatever.
mm,
And go on within a decent time and do a premiere or a live and a panel or whatever. He's usually
yeah.
the kind that would do something like that. And then when it was confirmed that he was on that trip, I was like, oh, okay, well, okay, I get it. Give him some time, or whatever. But on the other hand, here's the thing that I think Ryan and I discussed this a little. Well, Ryan was on his panel last night. I think I just remained in chat if I remember correctly, but Ryan mentioned it too, and I mentioned it I think in the comments. Is that what if? See, that's the thing, is what if. There's always a what if. That's all
Sure.
this is a what if.
Right.
But God forbid all those catches they got that he was behind, God forbid. And
Be in
something,
vain.
yeah, if they, do find him guilty, that could throw those cases. Couldn't they? I mean, or couldn't it?
And then how does that look for being the catch trip that Ray went out on?
Exactly. Or
So it
any of
affects
them.
more people, and that's why he needs to address it.
Exactly. There you go. That's exactly it. That's really the point where I think we're both trying to drive in. And it's too late now for the most part on those catches there. But I think it's just my opinion. I think you're in agreement with that maybe he should step back until this case is over with, and everything. And according to what he said, he's pretty sure and confident that it will be dismissed, that it's yielded nothing in regards to that. And yes, I know people don't like to hear this at times, but yes, we are innocent until proven guilty in a court of law in the United States of America.
Yeah.
And we need to keep that on our minds. And that's real important. Um, but on the other hand, again, it's my personal opinion that if somebody is suspected of that and it's still an open case, that maybe they should back away from the catching as far as
No doubt, no doubt. And why would anybody get so twisted to the point in this community? Has this community got so twisted to the point that they would ostracize the people questioning the person that's being charged with the very thing that we're trying to eliminate?
exactly. Ryan
So
mentioned that
you're
last night too.
if you want to take that chance, you're going to have to answer to God on that one day. And I don't give a damn about the gatekeepers. That's way beyond what they think. You can't get nothing fixed like that. You're going to have to answer to God on that.
Yeah.
So
Tommy boy.
that's
Actually,
on you. If that just struck you in the heart, that's on you.
yeah. Hey, yeah, Tommy Boy actually had some good points. Well, one thing I do like, Tommy Boy, you and I have had our whatevers, but I think that I've heard him on a couple of panels. He doesn't give a flying whoever it is. When it needs to be said, he'll say it. So, Tommy Boy, whether you like me or not, I don't know. I do have a more of a respect for you now. I just want to let you know that. Um, but yeah, he said some things that just need to be said, or questions that
Yeah.
just need to be
Yep.
asked.
Yep. I thought he was
So,
just a troll until the other day.
yeah, he's funny. We butted heads a few times, maybe once or twice, I think, and it's all in good fun, I think. But I think he's an intelligent person, and I think he just that's what I like about certain people. They just don't care what other people think. They'll just say what they think needs to be said and say it, and I
We got to
appreciate
have those type of people.
that. Absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely.
What up? What have we have we drawn any of the attention from that crowd? Let's take a look at this chat.
Um, I'm looking here. It's I've been trying to put them up on the screen, and I think a lot of people are, from what I'm seeing, it seems like are in at least some agreements or full agreements. You know,
Okay.
um,
Okay. I was just wondering.
it's. I'll be honest with you. I'm not until I get new glasses. I'm just not as good as keeping up with the chat. That's why I kind of like to put them on the screen. Sometimes I don't put them on there for very long, but it's for
Because it
later
makes the
on.
font just a little bit bigger.
Yeah. Yeah, or if somebody has to get timed out or whatever, it's still on StreamYard. That's good too. But I like to see other people's thoughts and opinions at the same time when I'm able
Yeah.
to. But so speaking of Sixth Sense, I guess I'll go and just kind of start with this a little bit. And I don't want to pound this into the road. So those who know, the Thursday before Good Friday, so last week, the Thursday I did it. I did a stream, and Ryan NVCAP was also on some of that stream with me, if not all of it. I don't remember, to be honest, if he was on the entire stream or just part of it. But we did discuss. I discussed some things about a person in the community I have never really talked about much before, and that was Bill Powell pulling the strings. And I mentioned that night as kindly as possible. And I know he mocked me the next day. I mentioned very clearly that after that stream, I would be gone for about 4 days or so, spending time in the city, being close to my kids and grandkids for the holidays, for the weekend and whatnot.
Yeah.
And I would not virtually at all be on YouTube, which I was not virtually at all. I looked a few times and got a few messages and whatnot, and I was actually with my kids and grandkids at the very moment. And I won't mention the person's name because I don't have anything against this person. It's just they were just kind of letting me know, And so a person did, message me and said, "Oh, Bill's calling you up on panel." I'm thinking to myself, I don't care. I'm with my family, the people who actually I love and care about, and we're talking about the Lord. We're having fun. We're visiting. That's I could give a what about a stupid panel, and I was
I'm a straight white male with a family.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then he said that I blocked him and that he was, and I went through my block list and he's not in there, and unless he used a different name or anything like that. And I'm going to double check actually right now one more time just to make sure I'm not, people are, don't call me a liar or anything like that. But just to check, there's hardly anybody in my ban list. Even when somebody gets banned, which we try not to do, but it has to happen once in a while, obviously. Either right after the stream is over with or shortly, I go straight to, the the ban box, if you will, and I look and I'm thinking, well, that person shouldn't be banned, or that person shouldn't be banned. Like I'm seeing. Oh, wait a minute, make sure that's the right one.
Right. You look through. There's like maybe one that stays or whatever.
Yeah, and some of them. The problem with some of them is you don't necessarily know if they're a troll account or not, too.
Right, and you don't know if it's an impersonator. What's going on there.
Exactly, but I do not see pulling the strings or Bill Powell, or I think he was Bill effing Powell. I don't know. I haven't seen that name in the chat too much. Mainly pulling the strings.
Yeah.
And just so you know, he is not. I'm checking again. He is not banned. He is not anywhere in the ban list. Now, I will mention a few that I just learned about that are in the ban list, and I'll give them one more. I'll give another chance. I'm gonna unban them if it's the real people. So FTK, you're no longer banned. And then there was one more that caught my attention. The bad guy is banned. I will unban him for now. The rest are obviously just a bunch of troll. Wait, now I don't know if this is the real Mr. Samuel or not. I just don't know, but I'm going to give it a shot and unban. So there's 3. But Bill, you were not in there. If you're listening or watched later or whatever, you were not in the ban box, just so you know. So you were not banned. You said you were going to come in and drop your link or something. Well, you can't because you're not a moderator, so you can't do that either. But you're not banned.
Wah, wah, wah.
So there's that. And it's like it's little lies like that, or fibs, or whatever people want to call them, and they'll believe him, or they'll believe somebody else, or whatever. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, first of all, I never saw him come into that chat. Yeah, do I miss people? Absolutely. Sometimes I miss people. It just happens. But I don't remember him. I talked to a few moderators. They don't remember him coming in. Do you remember pulling the strings coming through at all?
Not in a long time. I don't remember the last. I couldn't say for sure that I have seen him.
Yeah. So I just wanted to clear that up. So there's a couple obvious lies that he said on Good Friday, which is a holiday and a holy day, and I was with my family, my loved ones in the city. So why was hidden? Who I don't know, FTK.
Why was
That's
he
why
worried about you on that day?
exactly. Because he knew. I mean, if he supposedly watched the stream and everything about it, first of all, um, yeah, he was mocking my. He called me a fake Christian, and I was hiding behind my beliefs. Happily, I will
Wow.
I will happily hide behind the cross. The Bible tells us that we are to glory in the cross, the bloodshed of Jesus
Washed in the
Christ.
blood.
Amen. Amen. So I gladly admit to that. Now that I think the way he's stating it was completely different, and of course that's not true at all. Um, so
And anybody that knows you knows that.
yeah, yeah. Well, I wouldn't say anybody, but most people.
Most people, excuse me.
The ones that know me personally, like, yeah, absolutely, for sure. Mr. X, you are one person. Okay, you do have your wrench. Okay, good. I want to make sure that Mr.
So
X
this was
has.
on the Thursday before Good Friday
Yes, sir. Yes,
this
sir.
year.
Yes,
So
sir.
just what, last week?
Yeah. Hmm.
Okay.
I think the title was Who, What, When, Where, How, and Why with guest NVCAP. I think that was the stream. I'm pretty sure that's what it was entitled. I want to say it was like an hour and 20, hour and 30 minutes long, something like that. Um, and of course, when I designed that stream, yes, some of it was going to be touching on pulling the strings a little bit, just kind of saying, "Hey, why? Why?" For for a while now, he goes around saying that Ryan is Lion Ryan, and I'm Jeff, and Dragonfly Wings is this, and Tracy is that, and this person is. It's like, dude, why?
Yeah.
Why?
What are
Uh,
you trying to do here? Are you running an underground monopoly trying to extort people, trying to get information on them having a catch, and then what?
yeah, exactly. It's just kind of confusing. He'll say something like, he'll make a statement and he goes, well, this, that, and yeah. He'll go, and yeah. It's like, and yeah, what? Well, if I did that, it would be quit jeffing us, finish it, finish the sentence.
Yeah.
So there's some hypocrisy there. But yeah, it's the creepiness, the way he talks in the community. Um, Towards some people in general, talking about
Specifically the ladies.
mm-hmm, survivors. It's rather uncomfortable to certain people. It's creepy to some as well, and I just don't support illegal drugs. That's just me. Now, if they made them legal, then whatever. But yeah, I mean, I've already discussed on a lot of this, but
Yeah. Yeah. And that's another thing, if you have someone that's overcome addiction, in this community, you're throwing them, you know, it's making a mockery of everything. So is everything we do, is it just a big joke? Is that what this has turned into? Like, it's just all a big joke. It's like,
yeah,
it's just for, like, now that it's gotten a little bit times have gotten a little bit tough because the platforms are, coming down hard on the catching community, and now we're just gonna, you know throw it all out the window, and, like,
yeah, sad.
it's sad. It honestly is.
And I get it. the whole with the platform that does not want a lot of the stuff that that is in the community here done on their platform, and I get that. So things did happen where channels were removed, videos were removed. Some people are over to Rumble now. I'm actually going to have all my catches on Rumble. I've got it set up. I just need to do a stream where I can drop it.
Yeah.
And Seven's got all the other ones re-edited. I'm just waiting for the final. Yeah, so that'll be soon. But as far as this platform, there are some things we can still do on YouTube, and there's some.
Do you know why the catch this week? You know why that catching trip this weekend had to happen?
Was that?
It had to happen because the community has gotten so fucked up. Oh, excuse my language. I'm sorry.
You're fine. You're fine.
It's gotten so off track and off kilter that catching trip had to happen to give the community some catches, because the only people doing catches are people not involved with this community.
Wait, okay, so I get what you're saying.
Do you get what I'm saying? As far as on YouTube, the catches that are being allowed are the only catches that are being allowed on YouTube are people that are not involved with the community on a regular basis. You see it's very hit and miss.
Yep. Seven, as far as live on the streets, Seven, awesome people. Yeah, or some that are newer.
You can't be consumed into this community because you're not going to be able to be a catcher, because it's everything combined. It doesn't work. Yeah. I would not recommend anyone. I don't even know how the community happened. How did it evolve from White Guy Wednesday into having gatekeepers?
Yeah, it's weird. And you're right. I actually miss White Guy Wednesday. That was so much fun. That's kind of when things were, I mean, they weren't perfect by any means, and things were still happening, but it was like I think we talked about this earlier. There's trolls, and then there's malicious trolls, and there's a difference between, some people come in and goofing around a little bit and, poking a little fun, having a little fun. Then there's just some that are just absolutely malicious. And there's a lot of difference in that, and that's kind of where I've seen it lead to. Yeah. But I personally, I just hope that, even for Ed's own sake, that he does, take the opportunity to maybe, do a Q&A. I mean, I did that. I think it was the last panel that I did, or the one before. I spent a good amount of time just simply doing a Q&A. And I did the best I could with, and I'm pretty sure I was able to answer all, if not at least most people's questions. Maybe something like that.
Yeah, I mean, what would you do? If I was being accused of that, what would you do if you were being accused of that and you had the platform that he has?
Yeah, something like that. If I knew I was innocent and that was out there, I would do whatever I could to stop what I was doing. I mean, that's pretty serious, and I would do whatever it took as soon as possible to get up and at least make a statement. At the very least,
would you make some videos with a nasty attitude telling everybody to go fuck themselves?
No, that's one thing I disagree with. Yeah, Ryan mentioned that last night too, and I don't understand why he would do that or say that. For those of us,
why isn't he saying, like, if you know me, you know my character. How dare you believe that?
Exactly.
Like, you should know me better than that. But instead, we get, you motherfucker, you want to come after me and say I had CP. All it was a mess. And if you don't like that, you can just go fuck yourself.
Sorry about that. Actually, I had it muted. Yeah, I know. It doesn't make any sense, does it? It's but again, and again, I always try to look for the good in people and the good in everything. I'm not saying you don't. I'm just
Oh, I'm
stating my
not trying to, yeah, I'm not perfect. I'm not saying that by any means. I'm just saying, and if I was being accused of these things, I would not be acting this way.
yeah, exactly. I would be like I said, if that was me in that position with the paperwork that I saw and the information I've heard and everything else, that's a situation where definitely I would do everything in my power within at least 24 hours, to at least make a statement, something. If I have receipts available, obviously, throw those out too. And then say, listen, this is what I got for now. Here's what I'm going to do for now
Even if
until,
he's saying, it's an ongoing case, I can't talk about it, but
yep,
whatever. Like,
yep, I definitely agree.
even if he just said it's an ongoing case, I can't talk about it.
Yeah,
Respect my privacy, thank you, in a respectful tone, then that makes it appear that he's not got something to hide.
yeah. Hi Tracy, how's it going? Good to see you here. Hope you're well. This is you want to introduce yourself? I don't want to say the wrong things. I know you're kind of anonymous a little bit, but you've been part of the. Actually, I wanted you to explain at the beginning. Can you maybe give a minute or so to kind of explain how long you and your wife have been in the community, or whatever you want to say? I guess.
Wait, are you talking to me?
Yes. Somebody was asking
Okay.
who was with me on
Oh, okay.
panel.
We've yeah, I've been in the community for about 2 years. And my wife and I have just we're involved with the Patriot movement, and we we're involved with some things on the internet, and so that's how we found the catching community. And we started supporting. Yeah, pretty simple.
And now I have seen. In fact, as you know, I was a little confused who was who. Because you guys
So
got
my
some.
wife is Brit's gray-eyed jewel,
Yep,
and I am ACops behind us. But
there
you
you
can
go.
just call me ACops.
There you go. And I went to Lynn and God's Angels. Actually, wonderful person,
Oh, Lynn
wonderful
is
lady,
great. She is a good friend of ours.
sweetheart. And can the
Such a
mods
sweetie.
drop her link? That bothered me that she finally got over 1K subs,
Oh,
and they nuked her channel, and so
that
she's
was
got a new
terrible.
one.
She's gonna
And
build it back up. We'll get it built back up for her.
absolutely. So if mods could drop Lynn and God's Angels link a few times, I would really appreciate that. Also Constantine's link as well. He's almost to 1,000 and he's a catcher now. So good guy there. But yeah, I just wanted to say with Lynn and God's Angels, she's also in my managing mods along with Lala Blue. And she's such a wonderful person.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yep.
and that just bothered me so much that they would do that to her.
Yeah.
It's
You know,
it's
I
terrible,
if you watch her videos, you'll never look at the sky the same again.
right? Absolutely, absolutely,
Once I started watching her videos, I started seeing them from my place.
absolutely. Thank you guys for Constantine. I think you dropped. Yeah, thank you so much, and your wife there has dropped it as well. Anybody else I may have missed that dropped her link, I appreciate that. And if you or your wife has a link that needs to be dropped, please do so. Your wife can. Also, I didn't meet per se them in this channel, which is I don't want to get it wrong. Can you explain the channel I met you in? It's
So we
pretty
we
lively.
met we met in the channel David Nino Rodriguez, which is, some of you may know that channel, you may not, but it's a Patriot news channel. a podcast. David Nino Rodriguez, he's a former heavyweight champion boxer. He does a podcast 3 times a week, every Monday, Wednesday, Friday morning. Kind of like if you ever seen Michael Jaco, or any of the other guys that do the military monkey works.
Yeah.
It's very similar, military intelligence and news on the day.
Yeah. He has a pretty big channel. I think it's over 250,000.
Yeah, it is. It's approaching
subs.
500,000 subs now. It's and the thing about that is that Brit's Gray-Eyed Jewel and one other chick are the only 2 moderators for a channel that averages 7.92 thousand viewers.
Yeah. Concurrently.
2 moderators. 2 moderators, Jeff.
Yep.
She's a badass beast.
Oh yeah. Yep. I went in there on the request of Linen God's
Can
Angels.
everybody just flood the chat right now with Jules just like something for Brit's Gray-Eyed Jewel.
Yeah, throw
Hearts
some
for
purple
Brit's
hearts
Gray-Eyed
in.
Jewel.
Yeah, if you guys could throw some purple hearts for his wife, I'd appreciate it.
I mean,
We would appreciate that.
She is the queen. She is the queen moderator. She is the best moderator, honestly, Jeff. I've never seen. Have you ever seen another channel that had 7.92 thousand average viewers that only had 2 moderators?
I don't think so. To be
What?
honest with you, that's
That's
wow.
all-star stuff.
That's a lot of work.
That's Hall of Fame.
I'll get to that here in a second, FCC. Yeah, when I first went in there, it was her and Harbor, I believe it was, that knew who I was right away, and the subject, is kind. I don't want to compare him to Alex Jones. It just kind of gives me that feel a little bit, the way he does his little,
That macho. Oh yeah, let's go.
That's about it. And I saw when people tag you, in a chat, it shows up orange, and she was talking about the catcher community. I was like, oh yeah, I've seen that name a few times. Not, more than a few, but just not consistently as like a lot of people. But I've seen the name, and she dropped. Yeah, absolutely, and she dropped my link, and I didn't know what, I was almost embarrassed, but I was very thankful, and I just said thank you so much. And then Harbor dropped my link, and I think they dropped a few other links as well in the catcher community. And I was, wow, that is so amazing. And people were so nice in there. And it goes by so fast, the chat, even though they slow it down.
It does, especially when you got that many people in there.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But yeah, that I remember that actually, and it took us a minute, but we finally were. That was what got us started talking. On a regular basis, and I'm not sure how many people came over here to watch from there, but networking is that's how we Alex, we got Alex on there several times. We brought Alex on there.
You know what? That was the reason. Now that you mention that,
you were there, Jeff. That's why you were there. You were there because we had Alex on there.
That's right. Lynn, I think she told me either through IG or through chat, she dropped a link or something, and she says, you guys got to check this out, Alex's interview. And that, you're right. So thanks to Lynn and God's Angels. Again, if you guys could drop her link once in a while. And also Nina Rodriguez and any other links you can think of. We'd appreciate that. But that's how, you're right. That's how I was introduced to him. And there's a lot of political stuff. And he's also a Christian too. To the best of my knowledge. And so we have a lot in common. And I really, it got me hooked. Now I can't be there every single time, but I try to at least make it as much as possible, especially some of his premieres where he interviews certain people. I want to hear you know, what the other person has to say and what he has to say.
It's
It's
very
pretty
interesting to
good.
see the point of views of these people, and he is unlike a lot of the other people that do these podcasts. They are he has just about anybody up. He'll have just about anybody up there, and interview them, even if they are a crazy flat earther that believes JFK is reincarnated in Dallas
Mhm.
in last year and is going to get elected president in 2024 or some crap.
Yeah. Hi, baby love. I'm sorry, I don't want to interrupt, but I
Yeah, you're
missed
good.
her
You're good.
last time, and I felt so bad because I usually don't watch my own stuff. I watch it usually once the chat's complete, and see if I missed anybody, or just to see if how it
I'm
went. And I
trying to watch the chat, but I just can't. I'm about to open it up on the tablet as well and try to read along in the chat here. I
yeah.
run my mouth, dude. I will talk your head off.
I can either be guilty of that to the 10th degree or 110th degree, or I can be completely silent. It just depends on my health. That Nat going bananas, how you doing? Good
Yes,
to see
not
you.
going bananas. We were actually
Jersey Pride.
Jersey.
Jersey Pride.
What's that?
Yeah.
Jersey Frederick.
Yep.
Yep. Yep. She's back in the game. I think she's got some.
Nat is back up in this thing.
Hey, there's Chris. What's your story? Hey, Chris. Good to see you, buddy. I didn't know. Am I right, Chris? You have to forgive me. I just don't remember who mentioned it, but I didn't know you were a Christian too. That's really cool. If I'm wrong, please correct me. But yeah, that's a good. I kind of the way his personality and his motivational Mondays is just great. I wish he would start interviewing again on What's Your Story. I had the pleasure to be a guest on his show about a year ago, a little more than a year ago, I think now. He's a good person, really good person. So give it up for What's Your Story there, Chris.
What's your story?
And of course, people call him Wish Wish, and I honestly don't get it yet. I just go along with it. I have an idea, and that's about it. I think it was just something silly that they.
It's kind of like ACops behind us.
Yeah.
Kind of like
Yeah.
what's your story, son? So what's your story? Like you get pulled over, you're approached by an officer, and he's like, what's your story, son?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
that's kind of
Exactly.
awesome.
Absolutely. See, I got this. I'm sorry. I was just going through. Somebody wanted. Now, are you? I'm going to do a different layout because some people want to see at least something. Do
They
you
want to
have
see
it?
something.
Do you have your camera off so I can go to our avatars? Is that cool with you?
Okay, well, all right. Hold on, I'm naked in the bathtub, so hold on.
Oh goodness.
Oh shit. Okay, no, that was the moment. Oh, my bad. I've cussed again. I'm reckless tonight. Everything's off. We're good.
All right. We should do it. There we go. Yeah, I did find some hellfire for those who want to laugh or two for tonight's show. Hey, Belt Loop, I'm sorry. I meant to mention you too. Thank
This
you
is
so
on
much for being here as well, Gary. I really, really appreciate it. Drop your link, Belt Loop. He's a good guy. Check him out. He's got a lot of good stuff going on. His channel's growing great. He's an amazing police officer, all around good guy. Devil Dog, same, really, really good dude. They do what's called Good Cop, Bad Dog. If you, and those of you that know DJ's Cartoon Universe, that's also kind of interconnected too. So they've done a lot of stuff for me, and I really appreciate it. They do a lot of stuff for a lot of people, and they have great channels. But yeah, good to see you here, Mr. Beltloop. Good to see you here, Gary. Really, really appreciate it. Okay.
So,
oh my gosh, time flies.
yeah, wow, we've already been on for an hour.
An hour. Yeah, and I kind of like to keep it around an hour to an hour and a half at the most.
Right.
like I said, I don't want to beat a dead horse. And there's so many other things I wanted to get into. Again, when I set up this stream, it was about, I want to say 3 days ago. It could have been 4. I'm just guesstimating here. And
Something
I
like
had
that.
and I had a lot of other things I wanted to talk about regarding the Sixth Sense. And I kind of want to make it exciting, fun, have a discussion, a bit of an open panel, and then more stuff happened. And I was like, well, it kind of goes along with this anyways, in a sense, but this may end up being a part 1. Oh, there's NVCAP.
There is
NVCAP.
NVCAP, yeah. So what I was thinking, I wanted to throw this in here if you don't mind, Jeff.
Uh-huh.
With regard to the Sixth Sense thing and it applying directly to this. Yeah, my sixth sense is saying something. My sixth sense is saying, look closer at this.
Yeah. At the open cases.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. My sixth sense is telling me the same thing. And I know that one of the reasons why I did come up with this name was because of a person that I talked about last week, which was, and I didn't want to, again, we did touch on it already tonight. I don't think I want to touch on it anymore. But
Right.
part of it was I had that sixth sense about pulling the strings over a year and a half ago, before I was even, when I was just a chatter or a viewer, if you will. But again, I was trying to look for the good in everybody, like I always do. NVCAP, I did send you the link on your text, I believe. So if you want to come up, you are absolutely welcome to come up. I believe I texted it to you. If it's not in your phone text, it would be in your IG. So you're welcome to come up.
You know how you see these crazy stories on the Investigation Discovery Channel or whatever, and the family member says, "If I would just listen to my gut."
Yes, absolutely.
So we're talking about we're in a community of survivors, and we're saving children. We're supposed to be saving children. That is the only focus. Should be
Exactly.
the only focus here.
Yeah, that might be him now. 1 second. All right, here he is.
What's up?
Hey, Ryan, what's up, buddy?
What's up, Ryan?
Yeah, just kind of watch a little bit of it.
Yeah.
What's up?
Did you watch the first half hour or so by chance?
Yeah, kind of been watching a little bit of it.
What's your take, Ryan?
On what exactly?
What is your take on? Is your sixth sense tingling on this? On saying, look closer at this?
On the open cases being Ed, his brother, and Matt.
Yeah, I mean it kind of just well, it's kind of like there's two things to it. One, it's like something like that. He would have to know about what's going on. You know what I mean? Like you would have to know to some extent that you're a suspect in something relating like child porn. Like I feel like you would, like there would have had to be some kind of, like my
Well,
question would be,
if you're being accused of it, wouldn't you, if you were confused, call the police department and say, "Hey, can you explain this to me?"
Yeah.
yeah, it's like, and actually something I would say is, it didn't say it was seen, but I did actually message Ed, originally, and asked, if I could hear his side of the story, because I didn't want to believe any. I didn't want to, like I don't want something like this to be true. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
No,
Exactly.
It's
I hope
like
it's not.
Me
this
too.
isn't like a pedophile. This is like a predator we're catching or anything. And like, oh, like this would be, horrific. But I guess like where it comes down to is, it's like a combination of did he know? It's like there's a lot of questions. Like, did he know? He was, at least a suspect in this or anything like that, and he was in the community for that long, knowing that.
Yeah.
That's one end to it. But then the other end is just the question hasn't been answered. Why is child porn even coming up in that matter? Like,
Where
where does
is-
it come from? Like,
Yeah,
is
Where was
it?
the probable cause lie?
Yeah, we'll call it
It's like
CP, but yeah.
Was
it's
it the
like
IP address? Was the warrant for the IP address?
And it's like I've seen many stories about like some people are actually saying like he's not been accused. I've seen like several different stories about like how to like either explain this or whatever, but nothing from him directly has. And it's just it's like, is it his brother? Like, what is it? What's the situation? I mean, I
Yeah. And I will have to say, and Ed, no offense, I'm just speaking facts here if you're watching or listening later or whatever. I'm not being rude. I'm hoping and I'm praying that that you're obviously, everything's gonna be cleared up, everything's gonna be good to go, and all that good stuff. But I have to say, you did sound, and rightly so, very nervous last night when you were when you made your statement, and it may just be simply that. I mean, he's kind of feels like he's being pressured a little bit to do something sooner or whatever, and they were going on a catch, so I get that. But yeah, like I was saying, once he gets home and get some good sleep, some rest.
Yes, he needs to get some good sleep because he had all that big D energy in the car from JT and Ray, and like I'm sure that was having an effect on him. I'm sure that he was not nervous about anything else. I'm sure that it was just I mean, this is gonna be fine, guys. I really think it is.
Yeah, and I think too that, like I was talking about earlier, when there was things that I was accused of in the past in this community or YouTube, whatever, and people wonder why I just didn't jump online after a month. Because when I know that I'm innocent about something, I really don't care what anybody else thinks. I know I'm innocent. The cops know that they're innocent because they were there. Just little things.
Yeah, and actually, here I just want to read Haystack's comment. Like this was his explanation, if I'm not correct, because I did see his video, the addressing the bullshit. It said, please set up Ed and his bro so we can nail him with meth charges. That's pretty much what he said. So he said something to the effect of like, well, they just wanted to do this and carry the two, and then they just want to get me on a charge. But it's like none of his explanation explained anything. Like, why would child porn come up?
What
child porn have to do with meth?
No, exactly. To me, that sounds like, I mean, honestly, and I know he said on that thing, he's like, I haven't done meth in 3 years, and I know how addiction is. I've been clean since 2013. So if he has been clean for the past 3 years, that's good on him. But
yeah, I made it.
That sounds like the talk coming from somebody that's on some shit.
Yeah, I mean, and I would make it very clear. I mean, I'm not even interested in speculating of whether or not that's true.
Honestly.
But like, like my position on drugs, I genuinely don't have a problem with it. I'm not against drugs. I'm not against drug use really of any kind. If anything, I would probably have the most problem with alcohol. But like, and like, I couldn't care if
I'm against the war on drugs. I'm against
the war on drugs too. I would legalize all drugs. Legalize, tax regulate, release all nonviolent drug offenders, drop all pending charges. Like, I genuinely do not. I'm not against it. I'm not against it. But what does any of that have to do? And it's like that's all he addressed. And he's like, well, if I was on meth, then wouldn't I be withdrawing? Like, I don't even care about any of that. And like, I just care about that he's a suspect in an open investigation of child porn. Like, that's I just care about that.
And we'll use the word CP, please, just to be on the safe side. But yeah, absolutely. That's why it's kind of like, because last night, I think the post is still up. I watched it, I think 3 times, and you're right. I think he only touched on it just very briefly towards the end, and he said there was nothing yielded from that, but it And now, one thing I am confused on, not that it matters, to be honest with you, about the drug charge thing. So, was he actually charged with a drug charge, or is
Yes.
he being charged?
Yes.
Or?
No, he was charged with
Oh,
the drug charge.
okay.
But again, if I could wave a wand, I mean, like all charges like that would be dropped, like a meth charge. I don't care about a meth
Yeah,
charge. But like,
exactly.
With an ongoing case,
but what does that have to do with CP? Is my question.
Exactly.
yeah.
That's where exactly. That's what seems to be the
So
burning question.
it is what he needs to do in answer to this. If we're like, okay, well, what can he do that would rest us and make us satisfied?
Hmm.
Would be to say, whether say if it's an ongoing case, there was child porn found or CB found,
CP. Hmm.
and it's an ongoing case. I can't talk about it.
Yeah. That I would have probably respected that.
More
Not that.
than
Yeah. Than what he said.
At the very least, I would say is I would start with saying it's understandable to be freaked out about this, finding out
Yeah.
that let's say I'm Ed, let's say I'm a and like I would say it's understandable to be alarmed that I'm a suspect in a child porn investigation, and then address it, whatever it is.
yeah.
But he doesn't even say that. It's kind of like if you're, it's put gaslighting on you, saying if you're concerned about it, then it's just on you. It's on
Yeah.
you. How's it on you if you're
Yeah.
concerned about it? It's on you for seeing that that person's a suspect in a child porn investigation, and that's
CP.
Yeah.
Yeah.
at the very
Yeah, it
least
is on
deserve
me.
it.
It is on
And,
me because we're in a community full of survivors, and yeah, it is on me.
Yeah. Again, Ryan, I don't know if you remember at the beginning, I was talking about something too, which has been heavy on my mind.
Crazy.
Is God forbid that and I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm just saying, God forbid. What if for some reason he is found guilty or charged or whatever with this? Wouldn't it throw those cases in Florida that they just did because of him being involved in that the catches? Or
I mean, I genuinely just don't know the answer to that. I can't speak to that.
yeah,
Common sense would say so.
yeah, that's what
I would
thinking.
imagine it would, and I would put it this way: I would be surprised if it wouldn't.
Yeah,
But it's kind of like, but it's like all kinds of things can mess up a case. Like you can hit them up first, and it's like, is that the crime of the century where you mess up a case? Like the bigger elephant in the room is like that he is a suspect in an open investigation.
yes,
And the way he's addressed it is awful.
Very nasty.
yeah. Telling everybody to f themselves or f up, and it's just it's just not the right. But when somebody else, Jeff, all I did was simply get a link from somebody. Somebody asked me to look at it. I said, I'm not a professional. Let me talk to somebody else. Next thing I know, I'm being accused of whatever from a link.
And also this is like it's being made as if like it's his brother. But like maybe that's the theory. Like maybe it's his brother. Like that's one of the several possibilities, and maybe the best case scenario. But it's like
Sure.
He
as
hasn't
of
even
now,
alluded to that.
he's the suspect too.
Yes. Yeah.
And it's like that. It doesn't answer to that. It's like so. It's not only like some issue going on with his brother. It's the issue of him alongside his brother also being a suspect.
Yeah. Exactly.
But yeah.
There's got to be a reason he is not addressing it at this point. But as we've said already, I would wait if I was him to get home and get like 2 good nights rest
Yeah.
before I said anything. I would address it one last time on YouTube. And, that would be the last I said of it.
Yeah. till
Yeah.
after the case is done,
Yeah.
at least.
As long, that is assuming that it didn't happen.
Exactly. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I think something more of the line of just doing what he usually does, really, to be honest with you, it could be when he does a premiere or something, like when he's exposing, say, somebody else or
He
whatever.
expose the shit out of somebody else, but he won't even break the very tip of the iceberg on himself.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, is maybe do something that's at least, I don't know, a half hour or longer, maybe an hour, and not be so negative to everybody and tell everybody to F off just because we are genuinely concerned about the open case. Like Ryan has been saying over and over, our questions, we have a right to question, yeah. I don't know, Ryan, if you want to add to that, but Ryan is right. NVCAP's right about that. I mean, we have the right to question something like that, especially in this community.
Especially in this community.
Yeah, it's like about that. I mean, because like the way you think about it is like it's like most of the time when we even catch a predator, like the predators don't even have CP. It's not even. It's like one of the worst ones too.
Mm,
Like it's like that would be like an Alex sketch. That would be like oh,
I'd say 10%.
or less. I would say like somewhere
less.
between 1 out of 100 or 1 out of 10. It's like that they would be involved with like CP, and it's a bigger thing.
Yeah.
But it's like, why would he? It's like that's like one of the worst elements of the catches we do, and he's now a suspect in an investigation.
Yeah. Absolutely. I only want to bring this up because I remembered it. ACops.
Yeah.
And if you don't mind, it cut me off anytime if I'm out of bounds in any way, shape, or form. I don't want to say the wrong thing or anything. But at first, I just want to say thank you for you and your wife being there for me from the beginning. Literally, like there's a lot of people, but you guys are like top 5. You know what I mean? Like easily.
Yeah, absolutely, brother.
And I appreciate it when people see through, and I hate to say it, but when they see through the bullshit, they see right through it. And a lot of people did. And a lot of people want to remain anonymous, and they're very well known in this community. And I get it. And I kept them anonymous, unless they gave me permission to say something. But they were from the very beginning. And I, Jason, if you're here, I'm not trying to rehash anything. I'm just bringing it up for this reason. But when the whole situation happened on the catch that we had on February 28th with OTR's wonderful decoy work, I literally had that sixth sense again, where I remember the second catch that we had. It was with KC, and we got our first interview, and it went very well. And I on the chats, everybody was like, "Oh, congratulations!" and just it just felt good. The cops came. We didn't get an arrest on the spot, but he is under investigation still, and it just went well. And then the week later, I believe, and then I'm sorry, not Brian, but Ryan, I'm sorry, finally got the text messages to show that it's concurrent with the live that we had with the cop that was there with us, that we couldn't put the camera up, that we alleged that it could possibly, allegedly be a trafficking ring, and everything. And then some other things too. But you mentioned to me about the banana thing, and he didn't know a whole lot about it. And it was also brought up again in a chat. And I did see a few people that know me in real life that are in this community. They don't use their real name. And I was just lurking, and they said, "You guys don't understand. Jeff actually knows, this person or that person that happens to be of another descent, a different culture or country, whatever, whether it be Asian, Hispanic, whatever. I know certain people outside of YouTube, or I've met them through YouTube, and we've met in real life or whatever."
Yeah.
I have never in my life, never, I didn't even know what it meant. I didn't know what it was. Bought bananas. So understand that, folks. I didn't buy any bananas subs. I don't know how I went. There was a channel that Bill exposed, which I appreciate that, by the way. On Instagram, he exposed some things about that. And I saw one channel from, I think it was like Vietnam or Thailand or something, and they were pretty evil dudes. And they were just straight up forward about it. Like, oh, so much money for 300 bananas. No, that's not who I associate with. And just because they're from Asia or from Australia or wherever,
Is it
Eastern
that, or
Europe.
is it, Jeff? I just thought of this. It could be. What if we have like the Gwen Stefani effect going on? This stuff is bananas. Bananas.
Yeah,
It
there
really
you go.
is.
It is.
I'm
It
just
is.
trying to give a little humor to a
Oh, of
really,
course.
really effed situation.
Yeah, and everybody, most people know what happened. This is a while back. Locksmith and I both met, and by the way, she is a nice lady, and she sincerely did not know that what she did was wrong until she was told, and according to her, has never done it again. And even Locksmith and I talked about it, and he's talked to her. He said he talked to her in IG as well, but but he didn't know that this person bought him those either, almost 300 or around 300. And she found out when she was on panel, and she found out, oh, I didn't know it was against TOS or whatever it was. And I was like, okay. And then all of a sudden I was getting attacked. Like I got bananas or something. And no, it wasn't. No, there was no bananas button or anything. It was simple networking. And yeah,
Oh
end of story.
You made Dual Spitter drink.
Sorry, Jules. But yeah, that kind of stuff is just it's so ridiculous. It really is.
So how? Well, wait, hold up here. Hold up. If I remember right, there's a little plot twist here.
Wait, Ed has a stream?
I don't care if Ed has a
Yeah.
dick. I don't really
I don't-
care if he's a man.
why-
I don't even
well,
care about him at
and-
all.
And FCC, how are we
He's not
talking?
going to address it.
How are we talking shit? We're just talking common sense, facts.
All we did was say that Ed needs to address it. He's not going to address it, but if he's going to address us, that's what he's going to do. He's not going to address it.
Yeah,
He's
and if
going to address the fact that we called him out.
So I did kind of take a peek. Apparently it's not a panel like thing, so would it be something I would be able to it's not like that kind of thing.
Well,
oh, so
hopefully.
he is live, or
Yeah,
I didn't
he actually is live.
I don't
But
see
it's-
it.
oh, okay, I didn't know that. Is he
Yeah.
addressing it? If he's addressing it, we'll stop the
I don't
live now because I'd like to see,
I don't know.
because I'm not being rude. I'm talking about myself personally. I'm not up here trying to be rude at all. I just want him to address it more clearly because it was just kind of, and I get it. It was, they were on a catch, nervous, whatever. I get that. But if he's literally
somebody can drop that link in the chat.
yeah. Is it Predcatcher News and Drama? Is that the channel that he's at right now?
So is he actually live now, or is it scheduled for later?
Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to
all
find out.
trying. We're
Okay.
good.
Yeah, he probably dipped out to go check. So we'll check. Brian's going to go check unless somebody finds out if he
I
is
don't see
actually
it.
addressing it. Yeah, I don't either. Let me check
He's
something.
not gonna address it honestly, and if he is gonna try to address it just because he heard us, I really would advise him not to, because he's gonna be mad and say something dumb.
I don't see a notification that he's live on that channel, so I don't
Surely
know.
he wouldn't. We didn't say anything.
He's not addressing shit, Jeff. Okay, thanks, Haystack.
not.
Well, there's our answer. He's not addressing shit. Okay, I appreciate that.
Well,
Is he on his channel or OPE? I saw OPE was live, so maybe I thought maybe he might be there. Or I just didn't get the notification or something. Well, if he's not addressing it, then I'm not going to stop the stream quite yet.
no.
But and there is, I believe, 2 other people I did send the link to, and they really want to be here to talk about some things, but they're not for sure on their schedule. So we're gonna give them a little time. So I'm not just gonna drop the link unless Ed wants to come in here and it's actually him and have a peaceful, civil discussion. I am not. I don't want to hate Ed. I've always had a lot of respect for Ed. I've always appreciated Ed. Yes, has he made a couple? We all make mistakes, and I honestly, and maybe it's just me. I'm speaking for myself, but I honestly don't. Maybe it's because I don't want to believe. But I don't believe that he is. Maybe it was somebody else, wrong place, wrong time. You get what I'm saying? That's just what I'm thinking. I'm hoping. I really do hope that's all it is.
That's the vibe I get. That's the vibe I get, but I just don't like the way he's going about it. It's
He's at the airport. Oh, he's at the airport. Okay. Thank you, Frey. I appreciate that. But yeah, I'm not up here trying to.
well, all I'm saying is I don't like I think he needs to address it because of his position in the community.
Yeah.
That's basically where I'm coming from with it.
Yep.
And like Ryan said, I could care less about the other. There's the one part that I'm concerned with is CP. That is it. The other part, I don't want to hear about that.
Exactly.
So, unless, that we're going to have to wait, inevitably. We're going to have to wait to see anyway.
Yeah. And also, this has been mentioned too, is we got to remember that during that time, and I can't say the word, but the pandemic was going on.
It could be backlogged.
Yeah, they were backlogged at least 18 months, I heard, in a lot of places, some places 2 years. Because I was thinking, if it's been over 3.5 years or 42 months, whatever that, give or take, it's like if there wasn't nothing there, you would think it would be done over with now. And I know he did say that they were talking about a plea situation, so that I could see that, dragging it out, even further and whatnot. But if you're completely innocent about all of it, then I don't know. I'm not him. I'm not his brother, so I'm not in their shoes. So I don't know exactly what I would do. I don't think I would be in that situation. So
right, and I
drugs
don't think I would react.
I would never. Go ahead.
I was just saying. Me either. I don't know what I would do, but I don't think I would react as abrasively and non-transparent as he has been. He thinks he should just be believed, because.
Yeah, but everybody else, we all have to prove every little thing we do.
Want to see receipts and everything, and then have it judged, and then you see, you see a panel happen with 3 guys that jump up like they're all judges.
Yeah.
Like what is this lunchtime, high school lunchtime, and you got the 3 dudes that run the little clique, and they sit at the end of the table, and nobody's gonna make a decision that overthrows anything they do.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just it's hypocritical a little bit, and people see that, and it's bothersome. It really
we
is.
need to move on from it, and it's what people like. We've just got to.
Yep.
We've got to move on from it and stop paying attention to it. And it would be a real perfect day to do it, because if Ray is done, Then today it was Ray's retirement from the community. So that leaves the only people that were on that trip, aside from Christy. Now, I'll still follow Christy if she's going to do something, but
Oh yeah.
as far as CPP, Sam, CCP, Chinese
Yeah.
Communist Party. That's okay. It's him and JT. I'll still follow JT,
Hmm.
but I don't know what Ray's doing. But I guess since he lost the channel, he's just done. Like, why would so Ed's gonna be?
Yeah. F me. Ed is a real one. So, Mr. Jeffrey Thaw, boy, you just know everything, don't you? Oh my goodness, you're just so smart.
Ed is a real one.
He can take a lap, folks. He can take a lap. He told me to F me, so somebody can time him out. Jeffrey Thaw can take a lap or two.
The Queen got him.
Good, thank you, Queen. Awesome. That's just the most stupidest remark. It's one of the most stupidest ones. It's like you have no idea, no clue. Not you, the person who said that, the Jeffrey Thaw.
Jeffrey Thaw, you're
Yeah.
defending someone with CP charges?
Exactly. Well, not charges, but
Excuse me.
suspicion.
Suspicion. That's all we're saying.
And
We're simply questioning it.
and again, when I first saw this, I didn't even share it to my community page for a while because a couple things. It was almost impossible for me to comprehend it, like to let it soak in.
Too.
I didn't want to believe it. I watched it a little more than twice to make sure that I was seeing and reading what I needed to read and see. And again, I still held off because I was like, no, this can't be. And I thought about it too. I was like, well, it needs to be looked at. It started to bother me. It sincerely started to bother me. And I think it was like a day, maybe, or 2 days later, I finally shared their PCD's post to the community page, like I did with Matt's and a few others, including myself. A few they did on me, I shared to my page, my community page. I didn't do the video. I just simply shared it, and because I just wasn't hearing much about it, except for questions that people had for the most part, and I was hoping to have, like Ryan is doing as well, having more open dialogue about it,
Yeah. And that's totally okay, because this is not like we're talking about we're not talking about a little possession of some drug charge, or a suspicion, excuse me.
See, what I'm still confused on, I know Ryan answered it, but so apparently, what I understand, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'm just saying apparently, I guess the drug charge is there, but the CP charge is suspicion. Is that what I'm gathering? Am I wrong?
That seems to be what that's what I understood from Ryan.
Yeah. But I think,
and I will say, Ryan seemed to be onto it ever since this video the other night. He got that sixth sense the other night and jumped on that.
Yeah.
Before anybody else was willing to say anything, and he was taking so much smoke.
Oh yeah, big time. And Ryan is relentless. He really is. He's relentless. He's been relentless.
You remember the night that Ray said, I'm not gonna keep defending Ryan or whatever. Like, I don't defend Ryan because he's a man and he can take up for himself.
Yeah.
Ever since that night, I have noticed there's been a different Ryan. Ryan has taken charge, and he's not that little kid you see in that picture of the decoy drawing from whoever did it. I don't know. You know what I'm talking about? That little drawing that he has as his profile picture.
Yeah, yeah,
You know, it's not that same Ryan anymore. It's like Ryan evolved into this young man that's like, okay, no, I'm not gonna be. You're not gonna push me around.
exactly. If I could just address this, I want to make sure I'm seeing this correctly. Anthony Cruz here says, Jeff, you think it's okay to question it? Yes, I do.
Yes.
And then he says, and be on CPP lives, which I'm not, unless it's Cameron, Carolina Predator Poachers. If it's CPP Colorado, I don't really go in there unless there's a reason I need to look at something. Lives joking about it with Tommy and his mods. Do I think that's okay joking about it? I don't think so. CP's nothing to joke about.
No.
I don't know anything about that. I honestly just don't go over there, to be honest with you. Maybe once every 2 months because of a reason why. That's the only reason I can think of.
A lot of the community crowd that is anti-thaw will make things he says into things that they want to hear.
Yeah. Yeah.
When he's really like, I've noticed several videos that have been made about him that were he wasn't saying what they were saying he was saying.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, Lynn, I don't know if you were here at the beginning or not, but we plugged your channel. Please drop your link again. We were talking about how your first channel was nuked and talked about how I met you and ACops up here and his wife, Britt, through Nino Rodriguez. But Lynn says, if I may, she says, quote, I believe Ed thought he would not assume the worst about him automatically, as some of us know him more personally, and is it possible he doesn't want to expose or hurt his, and then it goes on here, brothers, possible absolutely. Yeah. There's always that
Absolutely. That's
possibility.
a very good point. I
Yeah,
would
very
say
good point.
something to that effect.
Absolutely. That is a
I
good
wouldn't
point.
I wouldn't get mad and tell everybody to F themselves. That's kind of the where I'm at with it is if it's he's saying, then my issue is with his handling of it. And then obviously, you know.
Yeah. And that's basically what we're doing tonight. And there's some things I wanted to discuss about the Sixth Sense on a more fun level. So I'll do a part 2 of this someday. But this is pretty much just a think tank, if you will,
Yes.
that we're trying to do. And we're expressing our opinions and our thoughts and even a few requests. And that's all they are. It's just opinions, thoughts based on
Our sixth sense being piqued by this suspicion.
Yep, and the actual evidence that was presented to us. So yeah,
I think that would make a good follow up. Where we talk more about it maybe after it's addressed.
Absolutely. And I to be honest with you, and I think everybody here would agree, or at least most would agree, I think we're all hoping and praying that everything's going to be 10-4 with Ed. I mean that.
Absolutely.
Because he's going to be, if he's starting to catch, he's going to be a great catcher. He's already been behind the scenes for years, helping a lot of different communities, including this one. I think he said behind the scenes, including myself, he's helped me behind the scenes at least twice that I know of, if not 3 times. But he's helped, I believe he said, in over 400 or 500 catches. Now that's amazing, right there.
Wow. That's
amazing. So God, God bless him for that. And
yes, that's the Lord's work.
Amen. Amen.
But the Lord's work is not a pass to be. When you're doing the Lord's work, you are held to a higher standard, just as a law enforcement officer is held to a higher standard because they are under the color of authority.
Hmm.
If you consider yourself to be doing the Lord's work, then you actually see yourself equal, if not above the law.
Yeah.
And and I do not mean that literally in a physical sense. This is a spiritual sense.
Yes,
Uh,
absolutely. It's a moral thing too. And
more.
if I could, not to interrupt, Mr. X makes a good point too, which we talked about, and Ryan was up here too. Ryan is or was friends with Ed and was told to get FUCKED when he asked. Yeah, that was
Yes,
last.
that
We
is
all
false. Yes.
we all were. He basically told anybody that didn't follow him or believe him or whatever to go F ourselves and get effed. It's like, what?
You
We
think he's going
genuinely
to
have
tell
a
us to go F
concern.
ourselves?
Yeah. Basically, anybody that didn't believe or follow him, that's what he said. The video should still be up. It was, just a few minutes, maybe 8, 10.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just guesstimating here. Um, I,
Sure.
I don't even think I said that when I was trying to defend myself when I knew I was right. I would just say, well, it's like when Alex and I had a couple disagreements, whether it was public or on the phone or behind the scenes or whatever. The last one was public on Ed's channel, and as he said something, I said, Alex, you are entitled to your opinion.
Right?
Because I wasn't lying about anything. I was simply passing information, hoping to get some help, obviously, from Ed and some other people, because I figured, you know what, they're good at what they do. I don't know about this. Let me pass it on, and it ended up being that. And then, but I don't know. It is what it is. But on another note, if I may, is that okay?
Yeah.
I actually want to change the subject a little bit, if that's okay. In fact, with
Yeah.
that being said, if you're okay with it, I'm going to change the background from
Yeah.
hell. And I know I'm going to some of the comments fast, folks. I'm sorry. I didn't realize how far behind I was. And I'm sure I missed some. I'd like to try to put them up on the screen, especially during discussions like this, even if it's just for a little while so we can pause them later and look at them. But to the last couple of days, this is a whole different subject. So I know some of you won't care, and that's fine. But I just want to say what a blessing it was to have. It was the first time that I got to have all three of my oldest daughter and my oldest son-in-law, all three of my grandsons over at the same time and stay the night, and they were absolute angels. We played soccer last night a little bit. We just had such a blast, and I'm so proud of my kids, and my grandkids are such good children. And I'm not just saying that because they're my grandkids. If they're brats, I'll say they're brats.
That's awesome.
Love them, but I'm just being completely honest. I just, it was such a blessing, and they just left about an hour and a half or so, I believe, before I started the stream, maybe 2 hours. And
Awesome.
it
I'm
was
glad you
really,
got to spend some good time with them.
oh, I appreciate it. Yeah. And then we have a baby shower next week for my first granddaughter that will be born next month. So
That is awesome, man. Congratulations. And
thank
you're
you. I
gonna have
appreciate it.
a busy next year for sure.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And a lot of birthdays. Almost all of my kids and grandkids' birthdays are within a few months. It's so weird.
Wow.
And there's so many possibilities right now because my youngest daughter, we don't know the gender of the baby yet, but we do know that the due date is somewhere in September. So by then, I'll have at least 6 grandkids in total.
Wow, that's awesome.
And I'm 47, so
Nice. That's nice. 6.
yes,
Yeah,
sir.
only 47.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
but yeah.
IQ doesn't permit lies. Okay,
All
Lart
right.
Busters. First of all, look, um, The
I'm
answer
about
is
to have
yes.
to get ready to wind down, Jeff.
That's what I'm doing. Yeah, I figure I would stop it at around the 2 hour mark, and you can leave whenever you want. I'm going to go another 15 or 16 minutes or so, give or take, and shut her down. But LARP, I don't know if you're just trolling or not, but yeah, my IQ is between 160 and 165. So is my brother's, and so is my sister's in 4th and 10th grade. That's all I care about. That's all I know. And it's probably not even half of that now. End of story. All right, moving on. We talked about it on the stream.
All right,
I'm so
Jeff,
tired.
I'm gonna go ahead and jump off for tonight. I had a great talk with you, bud.
And I
And
appreciate it. Yeah, me too.
I look forward to finding out what is what the deal is with everything here, and I'm praying that it is all just a big misunderstanding,
Yeah,
and we can all just use this uh, use this as a springboard into getting back to catching, and let's leave the leave this drama thing alone. Let all of this that's happened, all of the drama that has taken over the community over the past 6 months and taken over everybody's lives and everything. Just let that, be a reminder and as to why we don't want to go back to that. And let's not forget that we are here to save the children, and we are not here for ourselves.
exactly. Be kind. Thank you. I put that statement up so everybody has a chance to look at it. Again, thank you, ACops. Thank you. Be kind.
Yes,
That
sir.
was a great statement. Everybody here, appreciate everybody. The ones that are just causing trouble, well, they're just causing trouble. But you know
Yeah.
what? They're here too. I appreciate that
They're
too.
here. They're here. So, bless them. God bless them. And we'll pray for them. And, Jesus loves them. And
Absolutely.
he welcomes them with open arms.
And if you don't mind, before you go, we talked about this just briefly. Actually, I think you brought it up a little while ago, and I brought it up a little bit too. So the stream about the Sixth Sense, I didn't really touch much about what I was originally going to touch about, but we did talk about it. But you mentioned about a part 2 of this particular subject, and I think that's definitely something we have to do. But I think it needs to be at the right time.
Yeah.
And whether he does a panel or does a premiere, whatever Ed does to maybe help us understand everything a little better. Maybe there's something we're not understanding. Maybe
Maybe so. And there
PCD
could be,
forgot, something.
something
And
was not put in there. It's maybe just we can't say it.
exactly.
So I'm hoping that's what
So
it is, and I'm sure that's what it is. And we'll be looking at this in a couple of weeks, and it'll just be a distant memory that we can throw out. And
yes, absolutely. And I appreciate you coming up here. I appreciate you and your wife. You guys have been such a blessing to me, more than you know. And sometimes I get speechless. I'll be honest with you. If I don't respond right away, or if I just do an emoji on your paragraph or your wife's, it's because I really am speechless. Or sometimes I break a tear and I just have to, you know what I mean? So don't take
Oh
it the
yeah,
wrong way.
yeah, no,
It's just that
absolutely. Yeah,
when you get,
we're on the same page on the communications. We talk the same way, so it's
yeah,
very, very much. You don't have to explain that.
it's kind of like when you have, I'll use a movie as an example, I guess. It's kind of like when you have when you see the old cartoons and movies where you got a devil on one shoulder and the angel on the other. It's kind of like YouTube. You got the devil going, Jeff this, it's like, no, I'm not. Or whatever. It's like, what are you talking about? And it's Jeff. And then you got the good people like Lynn and God's Angels, and you and your I can go. There's so many people that private message me. If I mention names, some of the people here would not believe me, but they asked me to be anonymous, In fact, if I may say, and correct me if I'm wrong, ACops, your new
Yeah.
wife, in a sense, did not want, you guys wanted to be anonymous for quite a while, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes. Yes.
And I think it was yesterday, I believe, or that you mentioned that you're ready to come on a panel and
Yep.
speak what you wanted to speak. And yeah,
Yep.
I appreciate that. I really sincerely do. Sometimes it takes somebody else for others to understand something. I thought about that with myself. You know,
I
it's like,
just felt that this was the time for me to come up and start doing it. And uh, so, yeah, I'll be up for part 2, brother. We
amen.
appreciate you more than you know. So, and
Thank you
everybody in
so
the
much.
community, the good ones, Len God Angels, Haystack, everybody that's, the good folks, the good folks, you know who you are, Mr. X and um, everybody else, PatCon, uh, the good ones, you know who you are. Take care. Have a good night. Jeff, have a good night. I will
You too,
talk to
sir.
you soon, and we will have part 2. Good night, everybody.
Good night. Get some good sleep. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you very, very much.
Appreciate you. Good night.
Good night. All right, folks. I appreciate it once again. Yeah, I kind of had an idea where this was going to go, especially as of a day or so ago. I could be off a little bit, but then, him and I, you know, talked and everything. And we, the whole thing came up, and with Matt and Ed and whatnot, it just, the whole thing, Bill, and just some other things. I decided, okay, we'll touch on the Sixth Sense thing because it's part of it, but we had to, it's something we just, it needs to be discussed. And I just hope I just wish it wasn't even going on, to be honest with you. I sincerely do. Let me get a different background here, a little bit more pleasant, I guess, for the end. Um, and I don't have much more to say. There is nobody in the basement. There was a possibility I was going to drop the link for a limited open panel, but we're not going to do that this time. But I do want to do a part 2, and it may even be a part 3 only because of the situation. We may call part 2 something else, but we'll tie it into this. So you'll know it is a part 2 of this as far as the subjects are concerned that we talked about tonight, the main subjects, and then maybe the actual other stuff I wanted to talk about that would make it a little bit more funner, a little more lighter, and some other things we'll also do in the future as well. So, again, thank you guys for being here. I appreciate it. Thank you for listening, Ed. I'm not trying to go at you at all. It's just working. We're genuinely concerned, just like you were concerned with me on some things, or Casey, or his wife, or whatever, Tommy, whatever, whoever. We're concerned with your situation, and we just want answers. And if there's not much answers you can give us until after the case, that's completely understandable. Just say that, or whatever. And maybe just stay away from, part of catching until the case is closed or whatever. I just think that, because, it could possibly, get in the way of a case or something. You never know. You just got to be very careful about that kind of stuff. But we're in no way, and I'm in no way attacking you in any way, shape, or form. We're genuinely concerned. That's just what it is. And I'm pretty sure you're just fine. I'm pretty sure you're not guilty. That's just my opinion. But we don't know that. Nobody knows. You're a suspect in it, and that's it. You and your brother, I guess, are a suspect in that, and it is an open case, and innocent until proven guilty, and we will respect that. But if there's anything else you can tell the people that's a little bit more clear without telling them to go FUCK themselves, that would be great. We'd appreciate it. I know I would, and I know a lot of other people that would too. So I don't know if that's too much to ask. I don't think so. But that's really all I have to say. As far as catches, guys, and gals, you know how it is. I'm just part time. Um, I have been called, and there's a possibility that there might be 2 more this month, um, or maybe 1 this month and 1 in May. That's about my average, 1 every month or 2. I hope to go full time someday. That's still my goal. But until then, I'm more of a supporter than I am a catcher. And I'm probably more of a decoy than I am a catcher because I do more decoying than I do catches. A lot of times they just don't show up or nothing works out, and I just have to put it on hold for a while or wait till the right time, et cetera, et cetera. But no, I'm not going to stop. And hopefully the next stream will be, or the next stream or 2 will be the actual, where I can say, here is our Rumble. Here the catches, whatever, are there. The other catches will be up within a few days or a week or whatever. That's my goal. But that's where most everything involving the catches are going to be, is on Rumble. And then we'll go from there. So anyways, I'm sure I forgot a lot, and I'm sorry if I didn't answer any questions. But it's about the best I can do. I'm tired. I did have my grandkids here. They are good kids, but they're a handful. And I do have health issues and whatnot. And so I'm just doing my best. And yes, I still have the stupid StreamYard music. Until I can figure out how to upload some good stuff without having to worry about getting copyright claims or whatnot, soon. And then I'm going to do my own music soon as well. But until then, have a good one. I appreciate you all coming. Let me do something real quick. I don't want to leave with the banner or with the, there we go. Hey, Cap, I didn't see you here, buddy. Sorry. 14 hours a day, decoy height. Oh, that's way back up there, Constantine. Oh, yeah, that's true. That's how we caught a couple of our catches, Constantine. We were going to give up after like 12, 13, 14 hours, and all of a sudden, boom. That's what happened to me and Casey a couple times. So, Cap, I see what happened. Yeah, this is going to stay up, Cap. You'll probably want to watch from the beginning. We had NVCAP up here. We had a cop with up here as well. His wife is in chat. I think that's all who came up. And we're probably going to do a part 2. Well, we will do a part 2 on this eventually, and then a part 3. Did Jeff give his opinion on the situation? Yeah, you have to rewind it, bud. But yeah, I'm going to end it. I appreciate it. Yeah, we gave some thoughts and facts and opinions and questions and some other stuff. So it's all here. Good time to end it. Sorry, it's going to be StreamYard music, but that's just what it is. So thanks for coming again. We'll see you either when I go live next for whatever reason, or for the part 2 of this, or for an upload or whatever. Hope you guys have a great week. God bless you. And we'll go out with a little bit of the crappy StreamYard music for now. God bless. Take care. And hasta la pasta. All right. Bye.